Yo, what's good everyone? I did actually do this video earlier, and I kind of did a combined video, so just talking about lots of different things that I just haven't spoke about in a while or that's happened recently, and a little bit of an explanation of one of my previous videos where it says just me venting. So I was talking about lots of stuff to do with that, and then my storage got full. The video is about like 20 minutes, maybe a tiny bit longer, and it took hours to upload, and then it had to process. So then I thought, okay, let me just delete it and then redo a different video, and then I'll just upload it when I go to bed and meditate. And where I'm meditating on YouTube, I'm on that app. You have to be on that app for your video to upload. But when I'm going to sleep listening to meditation music, obviously I'm not sitting there just waiting, having to like watch YouTube videos for the video to upload. But I'll talk about what's spoken on those videos, but I'll just do it in different sections of parts, not like a combined video, because I don't have the storage, because I've been taking and saving a lot more pictures from either my eyes only, I've been saving them, or I've been just taking a lot more pictures of nature, because on TikTok I do like nature videos and stuff, so I've got a lot more pictures of nature. Let me have some of my water, and then we can get into the video. So I just finished some dancing for the first time. I know that sounds so random, but I haven't really added much to my routine or changed my routine all that much since I've started it. But yeah, I just done it for the first time because it was something I wanted to do. But instead of going guns blazing, joining a dance club, making it harder for myself, I thought, let me just do it at home, literally right in front of that mirror. I was doing whatever moves, you know, just let my body flow, let the energy flow. Done all of my routine today. The last few days, I just didn't stretch. I just left a few things out just because at the moment I'm struggling just within my thoughts and my mind and just where I am in life. So I just couldn't be asked. But feeling better today, but there's still a lot more work to be done. But I just want to talk about how I feel like a hypocrite, and the stuff that's happened in the last few days or within this month, I mean, has really given me an eye-opener. So if you did see my video saying just me venting, I was crying in that video, and there's a collective things of why I cried. I also cried, not yesterday, the day before. Right now it's the 29th of July, but it's going to be midnight in like 30 minutes, so it'll be the 30th of July. But I feel like a hypocrite because I used to judge people's situations from what they told me, so their mental health and what has caused their mental health, but because in my eyes what I experienced was worse, and I'm someone who is a happy person. The last 2 months, I would say I haven't been happy, and I'm kind of shifting away from that happy state of mind. But anyway, before that, I was someone who's a happy, bubbly, positive person, and I've been through quite a lot of stuff, so I'd be like, well, you haven't been through as much as me, and I'm able to like deal with it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm sitting there judging other people's trauma and shit they've been through, but the whole point of why it's called mental health is because it's to do with one individual's mind. You know what I mean? Everybody's different how they deal with it or what they go through. So me crying, because obviously I cried not yesterday, the day before, and then also literally the day before that. So 2 times then, and then 2 times at the beginning of this month, on the 4th and the 5th. So I've cried 4 times this month, and the first time before that was, yeah, like a year and a bit ago in 2023 Christmas. So like December, like a week before Christmas time. And the reason for that is I'd done a mushroom trip, and obviously I got upset during it. So obviously, like I said, there's a collective of things why I got upset, like I let it out, but I had like a big stigma of crying, so it's like I naturally built it up. And there's many reasons, and I just want to talk about the reasons why I feel like a hypocrite. So I see it as a state of mind rather than a mental health. So not an illness that there's something specifically wrong with you. Rather, it's your own mind and you can take control of it. So I feel like if I cry, then ain't I being a hypocrite? 'Cause I'm telling these people to control their emotions, or like mental health isn't real. Well, not that it's not real, but I see it in a different way. Rather than an illness, it's your emotions. You feel them. They're normal things. It's not something wrong with you, it's just something you're feeling. That's why I don't agree with like having a therapist or taking pills, because there's 8 billion people, different problems, different trauma, gonna go through different things in life, but there's one solution: pills and a therapist. No, it's your individual mind, so you have to do different things to see what works for you. That's why it's called mental health. You know what I mean? But the label contradicts the concept of it. That's why I see it in a different perspective. But even so, if I'm saying controlling your emotions, then I'm getting upset and stuff like that and being like a hypocrite. I also feel like a hypocrite because there's people who ask me for advice and I tell them advice, but it's like I don't even follow my own advice. You know what I mean? And I've come to the realization that I'm quite lost at the moment. So it's like they're asking me for advice because obviously I'm their friend and stuff like that, but then I'm giving them advice when I need to be doing shit myself. I'm not following that own advice. So it's like, say for example, this isn't a real life example, I'm just using it for this video. Someone comes up to me and they're like, oh, how do you talk to people? I'm like, well, you go up to them. I struggle with talking to people because I'm naturally an introvert, and you know, it's just something that I struggle with. So it's like, yeah, I can tell them that because that is the truth of it, but it's like I'm not doing that myself. So I'm happy I've let my emotions out. They've been naturally built up. I feel a lot better, especially today. I done all my routine, made sure I just didn't not do it. Had a good sleep last night. My girlfriend actually made sure I like hoovered my room, made sure I like cut my hair, made sure I was just actually did everything I did today, because she obviously cares. She didn't want me seeing like just kind of like can't eat properly and stuff like that. Ate better today. So today feeling, you know, better. Like I said, I tried the dancing thing. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit like, where do I start with the dancing? And the music kicked in and I was just vibing. And then when it ended, I was like, oh, that's actually fun. I did it for 5 minutes, you know, just doing it randomly at the moment. And I can look at videos, different songs, you know, do whatever. But I also feel like a hypocrite because it's like, I preach about all this stuff, but then I'm not walking what I talk. So, you know, when they say walk the walk, talk the talk, and it's like I have all these ideas, all these thoughts where I spend so much alone time, because like I said, I'm actually an introvert. I spend a lot of time in my room just by myself. It's to the point where I'm not taking action to any of my goals. So it's like I'm just sitting there with all these thoughts and getting overwhelmed by them. So it's like I'm not doing anything myself, but I'm like preaching stuff. So I just feel like a hypocrite because of that. You know what I mean? And there's obviously other reasons why I let these emotions build up. I'm not going to say them in this video because obviously this is strictly talking about me feeling like a hypocrite and obviously the storage problem. So this is just going to be talking about me being a hypocrite, and then obviously the next video, because what I'll do is I'll upload this to YouTube and then delete the video from my camera roll. And then the next video can be me talking about like why I got upset in more depth and like stuff like that. But if I add it onto this video, it's actually just going to reach the same length as the one before, because that's what I did before, just combine them together. But I spoke to one of my friends on the phone, literally just after I cried and I was on the way to the gym. He said it's like paradox or something, like you can give someone advice and you don't have to be in a good position to like give them advice, because it's like they're your friends. You can still give it to them. You don't have to be like this perfect person, which does make sense. Like it's like nobody's obviously perfect, and if you look at it in a way, well, nobody has everything together, nobody has their shit together. It's like, then who can give advice? So what he's saying is true, but I just feel like, well, I generally feel like I'm quite lost. If I'm quite lost within myself, how am I expecting to just say that to other people, and me crying and letting out these emotions just made me feel like, damn, I was really being like a dickhead by saying, oh, how can you not control your emotions? I've been through something worse and I'm a happy person. Do you know what I mean? But then it's like, then I cry because I'm a human and I feel things too. But still, I was judging them because my situation is worse and I thought I dealt with it. I was dealing with it. So there's just a few reasons why I feel like a hypocrite, and obviously like I have all these goals. I say I want to do them and do these things, but I don't. So I'm contradicting myself and being a hypocrite. So me letting out these emotions just made me realise how much I was being hypocritical and being a bit of a dickhead to some people. And not to be like mean to myself saying, oh, you're a dickhead or anything like that, but you know, I will be honest, if I'm sitting there saying, how can you not deal with your situation when I've been through something worse? Imagine someone else is like come from war, he's got a missing leg, a missing arm, he's watched his whole family die, he's not eating properly, he's not had any sleep. That's been going on for years, and he like sees my situation, he's like, stop being a bitch. I'm gonna be like, okay, well, you like don't fully understand then, do you? So it's really opened up my eyes, and I needed to let these emotions out for many different reasons, which obviously we can discuss in further videos. But yeah, there are just a few reasons why I felt a bit hypocritical, or feel like I was being a hypocrite, because, you know, contradicting myself and stuff like that. And it's good to say that because you grow as a person. You need to realise your strengths and weaknesses and what you do good and bad. I don't know if you know Hamza, self-improvement YouTuber, and he changes his opinions and thoughts and beliefs all the time, and people just like have a go at him. But you got to understand, he's experiencing something that they're not. He's living a life they're not. Of course, his thoughts and opinions are going to change with the things he does because he's trying and testing new things out. Do you know what I mean? When you learn and grow, you're going to change some things about yourself, whether that's your actions, whether that's like something within your mind, like a thought or opinion, it will change. And you may seem hypocritical, but you're learning and you're growing. And at the end of the day, it is your life, and as long as you're learning and growing, that's what you want. If you're about self-improvement and wanting to improve your life, it's not going to be like pretty, you know what I mean? I didn't want to cry and let that stuff out for many different reasons. I did, and now in a way it's like, damn, I needed that for many different reasons. But yeah, a lot of people just come at Hamza and they're like, I get it because they look up to him. They like, he's helped them, and then he goes back on what he says, but that's because he's obviously seeing things in a different way, because he's living life and he's having new experiences to where his thoughts and opinions change. But these people are more invested in his life than their own. That's why I say, don't always listen to me, don't always listen to anyone. Just take what you think is right with a pinch of salt, and then maybe try it, you know what I mean? Just see what happens. But yeah, I feel like there's something I'm missing about the hypocritical stuff, but if there is, I can just implement that like a little bit into my next video when I go into why I was crying, or like my problems at the moment. But I just wanted to make sure I did post a video, because I was sitting in my bed and then it said processing 0% after waiting like 4 or 5 hours of it just to upload, and then the storage got full, and I was like, that's just so long. So I just deleted it, thought to do this video. It's 7, 8, 9 minutes shorter, so it shouldn't take as long. And anyway, when I go meditate, go to bed, I can just let it upload while I sleep, you know what I mean? And like meditate to my music. But yeah, this is just being honest with just like how I felt to myself, and you know, just thoughts and opinions. But yeah, it's good to be honest, because it's your life. If you want to live within your mind and increase your state of mind in terms of being more happy and feeling more positive, you need to experience that negative to let out your system. And that's something that I've had to come to realise. I was too focused on the positive to where the negative was creeping up. So I was keeping in all the negative, thinking I was being positive by not letting it out. But now I've let it out, feel a little bit better. Wouldn't say I'm necessarily happy right now, but you know, until now, I've always had a positive, happy mindset, so I just need to make sure I'm just trying some new things, just learning and growing how I normally do, and that will obviously in return change my perspective again, and obviously feel better. You know, you become happy and proud from the things you do, so I just gotta make sure I do it. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up now. It's like 15 minutes, whatever. It's like a little bit shorter than the other one, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't actually do video rather than just deleting it and then waiting tomorrow and, you know, maybe not doing it. Just wanted to make sure I filmed this and, you know, it's just uploaded. But yeah, that's pretty much all. If there is anything about the hypocritical stuff that comes into play where I thought I was hypocritical in other situations, I'll add it into another video. But if you're seeing this, thanks for watching. See you in a bit.